90 minutes that we're not going to get back. Wolves are held at Molineux to Brighton and Hove Albion. Goalless draw, 0-0. And it was an extremely disappointing game of football. As, you know, neither team deserved anything from the game, to be honest, did they? Wolves starting with a 3-5-2 formation. Jota and Jimenez starting up front. Of course, Adama dropping out. Neves, Martino and Dendoncker in the middle. Bolly, Cody and Sace at centre-back. And Vinagre and Doc as wing-backs. And Patricio in goal. Let me know your thoughts as well in the comment section down below, guys. If you went to the game or you watched the stream or whatever, what your thoughts were on the game. And as most of you guys know that watch this video and watch this channel, I am pretty positive a lot of the time about Wolves, but today could go down as one of the worst games of football that I've ever witnessed. Just really poor game of football. Both teams, I mean, Brighton have been sort of known this season to be a team that have tried to play a little bit of football. And today, in the first half, they surprised me with how well they pushed up. I genuinely thought for the whole 90 minutes they would sit with 90 behind the ball, similarly to how they played last season. But they did try and play football a little bit today. In the first half, I think with Adama not there, Dan Burn, their big left back, was able to push forward. And they just really put a lot of pressure on our defence, which we coped with quite well. We had a couple of half chances, but we didn't really create anything clear-cut. It just looked like we were really tired and we weren't interested in the game today. And it's very hard for you to pinpoint a single player on that pitch in a Wolves shirt today that I genuinely thought had a good game. I can't think of one single player that had a good game for Wolves today. So, first half was tired, slow, Brighton coming at us. We created the half chances and whatnot, but I knew as soon as we brought Adama Traore onto the pitch, regardless of how well or how badly you played, Brighton were going to sit back and we could go at them a little bit more. And that sort of happened. We withdrew Neves, which I was quite surprised about. I half expected, obviously, Dendoncker or Martino. Maybe he's saving Neves' legs a little bit more for the Thursday's game against Olympiacos. But brought off Neves, brought Adama on, and he got the ball a little bit, but he's almost scared to take on Dan Burn and scared to run the channels and run down that wing. I don't know whether that's because of the size of Burn, whether he was still worried about his shoulder, Adama, but it was just frustrating. And at times I was watching him and I'm thinking, Adama, just run, do something with the ball. Because the one time he did, and he made Dan Burn think about it, we almost scored, and it was the step overs by Adama, cut back inside, laid it off, and I think Podence had half a chance, and Jimenez had half a chance, and that was the first time really Wolves looked like we could possibly score. Brighton had their chances, a lot of them from long range. They didn't really threaten Rui at all, to be honest, but Wolves didn't threaten Matt Ryan at all. You look at the amount of shots, we had 11 shots and 1 on target. That's not good enough. Then Donker had a chance that he scooped over the bar, but there's not a lot of actual in-game action to talk about. It's just the individual stuff. For me, Wolves looked tired, didn't look really interested, no urgency. And as I've said, there's no one that I can pinpoint out there today that I thought had a good game, to be honest. Whenever we were getting the ball on the left or the right-hand side, it's just like the two midfielders or three midfielders just didn't want to push across and just help out. And then when it gets switched, we push across again. And Vinagre and Doc had a very difficult time at times because they didn't really have the options. There was a moment in the game where Sace had the ball as well, and Jota standing in an offside position where, of course, he could jog back into an onside position. Martino and Donk are not really near or not really getting themselves into a passable position, and Vinagre's got a man in front of them, and everyone's urging Sace to pass to Vinagre. He does that and loses the ball, but that's because everyone else off the ball just looks too tired, or we're looking too tired to make the moves off the ball to try and receive it. It was just the little things today, and I think a point to point, the point's a lot bigger for Brighton than it is for us. A win would have taken us into the top 4, which is great. And you can't, it's strange, and it feels really weird to be moaning when we're doing so well this season, but today wasn't good enough. I think Nuno knows that, I think the team knows that, I think the fans know that. It's a copy of the result that Brighton got at our place last season, but I think, you know, they did try and play a little bit more today, but it still hurts a little bit today because I think Wolves fans know and Wolves know that we should have got the win today. But yeah, as I say, points probably bigger for Brighton than it is for us. But at the end of the day, a point for us could be the difference, or the 3 points could have been the difference between us getting Europe and not. But the point for Brighton, could be the difference between them staying up or not. So, disappointing game of football. We should have got all 3 points. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Brighton fans, if you're watching as well, let me know your thoughts on your performance. Let me know how your season's going so far and if you reckon you're going to stay up. But yeah, pretty disappointed. Fair play if you've watched this far after a drab 0-0 draw. Probably will go down as one of the worst games in Premier League history, at least this season anyway. But until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back for the Olympiacos game, and until then, I'll see you all very, very soon.